LA Knight fans, I got a bad sign for you. And in this video, I'm going to tell you exactly what that bad sign is, why it's significant, and why you should care. Because LA Knight, is heading into Crown Jewel. He's going to put his U.S. Championship on the line against Andrade and Carmelo Hayes. How did we get here? More on that in a minute. It's significant because it marks his first PLE title defense, or at least one that first comes to my mind, because he's mostly been holding open challenges on Friday Night SmackDown against all comers, and it served him well. Obviously, he won the U.S. Championship from Logan Paul SummerSlam in Cleveland, Ohio months ago. This is his first true title defense, because with open challenges, sure, you have worthy contenders in some cases, others not. You're just trying to put a shine on someone. With Andrade and with Carmelo Hayes, ironically, these two are names that he holds victories over because they've answered open challenges in the past. They have recently undergone what WWE hyped as a best-of-7 series. In fact, in Game 7 or Match 7, they even had LA Knight, as a special guest referee. Now, things did not go according to plan because after being hit multiple times by both guys, well, they ended up having a no contest, a double DQ, if you will, leading to SmackDown GM Nick Aldis making the decision to book a triple threat at Crown Jewel. Andrade, Carmelo Hayes, LA Knight, U.S. Championship. Now, I always thought that this was a weird outcome considering that usually a heel champion will get involved in a number one contenders match trying to prevent having to defend his title against one of the competitors. In this case, they went reverse and they had LA Knight, who was, yes, provoked, laying out both guys. But from a babyface sense, yes, the babyface did get ticked off and lost his cool, but at the same time, he still looks a little bit silly. Now, we're going into Crown Jewel, and that leads us to today's video, because the WWE Crown Jewel betting odds are out. Okay, and I posted this on Wrestling News Co. You can go check that out. There's only one title change expected on this card, and it's LA Knight's U.S. Championship, but more on that in a minute. Let's quickly go through these betting odds. We have WWE Women's Champions, Tag Team Champions, Jade Cargill and Bianca Belair. They're favored to retain their titles at minus 300 over Damage Control, Lash Legend, Jakara Jackson, Chelsea Green, and Piper Niven. Other title matches. Women's World Champion Liv Morgan, she's expected to win the Women's Crown Jewel Championship against Nia Jax, while Cody Rhodes is a plus 200 dog to lose to Gunther for the Men's Crown Jewel Championship, indicating that they think that Kevin Owens is going to get involved. More on that in a minute. Let's look at LA Knight. As I mentioned, LA Knight is expected to lose the U.S. Championship according to these odds. That's the bad sign. LA Knight's reign as U.S. Champion, which has really been lackluster, is about to end. So the question remains is, who is he going to lose said championship to? Is it going to be Andrade, someone that has really found his footing over the last month and a half or so in WWE since returning to the company after his AEW stint? Or would it be Carmelo Hayes, who is plus 600? Well, according to Bet Online, who is usually on the forefront of betting odds, it is Andrade who is expected to win the U.S. Championship. He is a minus 200 favorite, followed by LA Knight at a close plus 155 dog, and then Carmelo Hayes at plus 600. What does this mean? Well, obviously, number one, it means that LA Knight is losing the U.S. Championship. Adios. Number two, it means that Andrade is slated to get a huge run in WWE as U.S. Champion, and hopefully it'll be a better title reign than LA Knight. Now, I understand that LA Knight has been an active champion, much more than Logan Paul was when he was champion. He defended the title, 2 times? However, despite the fact that he has been defending the title, and despite the fact that he has been doing it on television through Open Challenge, which in itself is a good thing, it's been lackluster, right? You can't tell me a notable match out of this reign. You just can't. In fact, you can't even tell me a notable feud because he really hasn't had that. While, yes, this moment has built up to this triple threat, the fact is he's facing 2 guys that he's already beaten and 2 guys in which had to go 7 matches deep in order to get to this moment. right? So they're not necessarily the most built-up challengers, the most worthy challengers, the most credible challengers in the world. So there's that. You also had the fact that LA Knight is going to lose the championship, 2-3 months after winning it, and not doing much with it. I think that tells you more of what WWE sees of the U.S. Championship and LA Knight. I've talked about this in the past, where I've always questioned whether or not WWE views LA Knight as a top guy, as someone that can be a world champion. I still have questions regarding that. Despite the fact that the guy can talk, despite the fact that the guy can work, he has in-ring psychology, and he's one of the most over baby faces in the company, he has taken a hit. He has taken a hit over the last year. It was actually almost a year to the date. Once they booked him at Crown Jewel against Roman Reigns and had him lose, things started to go downhill. Then they followed up by putting him in a fatal four-way match at the Royal Rumble, him losing again. Then The Rock came back, and there was a lot of divisiveness about the fact that they looked at him as someone that was a light version of The Rock, a knockoff version of The Rock, because of the way he speaks, the way that he carries himself, the way that he does his promos. That's hurting LA Knight. In regards to these other odds, which I find to be interesting, I expect Kevin Owens to get involved. Kevin Owens, who, by the way, is slated to face, and according to odds makers, beat Randy Orton. Kevin Owens, he's a minus 400 favorite over Randy Orton, who's a plus 250. If you look at it like that, okay, Kevin Owens, not only does he beat Randy Orton as a top guy, right, he beats a top guy, solidifying himself at the top of the card as a big-time draw. And also, if you have him get involved, not only do you protect Gunther, who's a minus 300 favorite, he wins the Crown Jewel Championship, which, let's be real, doesn't mean anything, considering that this title will not be defended at any other event, nor will it be acknowledged at any other event. It's a one-night title, and a big question is, does he defend that title next year, or does they just completely scrap it? It's a one-off. I don't know. But so you have Kevin Owens go over Randy Orton, plus you have Gunther winning the match, plus you have Kevin Owens screwing over Cody Rhodes, which does twofold. One, it makes Cody Rhodes more sympathetic going into the rematch with Kevin Owens. It also gives Kevin Owens an edge going into that match. Reportedly, according to Uncle Dave Meltzer, WWE is looking to do that match on December 14th at Saturday Night's Main Event on NBC. So I'm up for that. In terms of LA Knight, I'd love to hear what you guys have to say down below. Is him losing the championship to Andrade the right move? Is this the best direction for Andrade? I would say so. Is it the best direction for LA Knight? I don't think so. I think they're about to hit a wall. Let me know down in the commentary below. I would like to hear from you.